Welcome back to the mini series of how to feel alive again in your life and where you can learn how to not feel so dead inside. A few things before we get into how to not feel so disconnected in your life. If you want, no pressure, but you can like and subscribe or give me a follow of this video. I'd super appreciate it. No pressure. You could leave a comment at the end of this video. Let me know what's up, what your thoughts were from what we go over. Or you can sign up for my Alive Again newsletter so you can get a lot of money off of the new course coming out next week, which is called CPR Your Soul. So I'm super stoked for this course. It's going to change your life. So I'll just leave it at that. You can find out more information on that on my website, and you can sign up for the newsletter on my website also. So feeling disconnected. When we feel disconnected, we feel dead inside, right? When we feel disconnected, we don't know which way's up, which way's down, where to go, what we want, what to do. We feel this very like yo-yo energy, and you're just like, I don't know. I just feel like, you could go a million different directions. You're like, I want to do that. I want to do that. That would be cool. Maybe I'll homestead. Maybe I'll live in the city. Maybe I'll get a career doing this. Maybe I'll content create. Maybe I want to be an artist. Maybe I want to do this. Like, you're just like, your head is going to explode sometimes because you're so disconnected from your soul and your soul communication of like what you're here to do, what the next step is, what your frequency is, what your soul gifts are, what your purpose is. And so that disconnection can feel like you're scattered. It can feel like you have like your energy battery pack is like completely unplugged. You have no zest for life and you have no energy to do anything, and you feel like minorly depressed and like just about it. So that disconnection can lead to a lot of different things, some things that I haven't even listed. But what can actually happen and how you can actually build that connection is actually just really simple. And it is exciting because you can go from disconnected to connected. Like, all you have to do is just like plug it back in, right? All you have to do is like reconnect your line of communication and be like, oh yeah, that's my soul. That's how I'm communicating. That's how I'm receiving my guidance, right? So there's two different ways that I go over in the course of how to connect. And what you need to do to, in my experience of how I felt connected, is having two different types: internal connection and external connection. Internal connection is connection to self, to soul, to guide, to source, right? Internal connection is my internal world, is my internal thoughts. I know what I do when I do it because I'm self-aware. I have awareness of my energy body, of my soul connection, of the voice of my heart, of my womb, of my brain, of my ego. You have the awareness of all those things, where the thoughts are coming from. Oh, that's somebody else's thoughts. That's somebody else's energy. That's somebody else's projection. That's somebody else's trigger, or it's mine. So the awareness of your internal landscape is your internal connection. If that's not there, then you're going to look outside of yourself for so much. You're going to ask other people for advice. You're going to want people to tell you what to do, whether that's your friends or your teacher or your mentor or your coach, or people on the internet. Like, you're going to try to look outside yourself for your answers. So that's a problem. External connection is how we feel connected to the outside world. It's to how we feel connected to earth, to other people, to relationships, to our experiences in the outside world. So if you have a disconnect of the external and the internal, then you're really just feeling like you're not on solid ground. You don't know, like, how do people even do this? So a couple of things we could go over. Internal, what you can start to do is start to figure out how you want to get started in that internal dialogue. You can start to meditate, journal. You can start to allow space for you to just be with yourself, like silent, be with yourself, not doing anything, not writing, not talking to anybody, and just set a timer for 5 minutes and sit with yourself. Like, that's some freaking just try that and see how that goes. Internal connection is about turning those things on and knowing where different things are coming from. So it's identifying the voices or the guidance from what is where. One thing that I love to do, how to get into the internal and start to declutter some of those things if you feel like like your mind's just like overrun and just like always on, is like clearing your energy. You could do this by just saying a clearing, using a pendulum, showering, like using the water to clear you. In my guide, in my newsletter, I have an energy clearing that you can say day and night to help clear your field. Your energy beings, it's not woo woo, it is literally science. We have an energy field and things get stuck in our energy field that are not always helpful. So, by dealing with that, is we can clear our energy field. So, internal ways, couple things that you could do there. Again, we deep dive in this in my course. The other thing that you can do for the external is like look at how your external world is. How's your relationship with your family members? How about your friends? Do you have any relationships with like your mentors? Do you have a relationship with like people that inspire you? Or do you feel like you have healthy relationships outside? Do you go outside and have relationship with nature? Or do you ever put your feet in the grass? Do you ever hug a tree? Like having the relationship with with your external world, because everything is a mirror. We are usually, what happens is that our internal world is a reflection of the external world. So if we don't like what we see in the external, we can try to change that. And we could also try to change our internal world. So that is about how you can try to plug back in, try to revive yourself in those ways, turn back on your energy. Another way you can really focus on that internal world is being connected with your inner child too. So you can like think back to what you used to love to do as a kid and start to do those things, and then start to rework that inner world and make it more of, a really magical place to be in your brain, rather than like a dungeon where you're just like berating yourself and shaming yourself and not doing anything right. So you want like magical vibes versus like the dungeon vibes. So all that is state change, and we can change that in our brain, and then we get to be able to see that change in the external world. So try that for connection. If you have any thoughts or if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment below, and I will get back to you. And then until then, sign up for the newsletter